My dad grew up in a remote area of eastern Kentucky. The geography of the area was slightly mountainous with gorges and rock formations. It's about 10 miles from the Red River Gorge for those who travel to that area. There was a waterfall close to their home where he, his family, and friends played. He told me the way they reached the bottom of the falls was to jump into the top of a tree near the falls and then climb down out of the tree. My mom always said it's a wonder they survived their childhood. The area where my dad grew up was called Bloody Creek. It was a rural area with a small one-room schoolhouse. Most residents farmed the land or worked in the nearby town of Campton. My dad worked on the family farm and also carried the mail to the area by mule. He explained to me how the area received its name. There is an area not too far from Bloody Creek called Devil's Creek. He said there was a dispute between the devil and a local man. The man took the devil to the top of a mountain and killed him. The devil rolled down one side of the mountain into a creek, and his blood flowed down the other side to another creek, hence the names of the areas. One story that my dad told me about when I was younger was the story of the Little Fuzzy Man. He would recall seeing him in the edge of the forest, spinning his stick above his head and yelling. I've heard others from that area recall seeing the Fuzzy Man too. I always thought it could be a feral boy, but my dad believed he was more of a creature of the forest. He was the size of a boy or a small man, but dirty and covered in unkempt hair. I remember one of my teachers who grew up in that area told her class about seeing him when she was growing up. My dad recalled to me one day that he was returning to his home on horseback late one evening. He had been out working in the fields that day and had headed home later than usual. It was dusk and becoming so dark he had a difficult time seeing the road. He relied on his horse that knew the way home. As he was passing through a wooded area, something dropped onto the back of his horse. It grabbed his waist and hung on to him. He could feel long nails dig into his sides. This frightened him and the horse so bad that he called to the horse to pick up speed, and the horse increased quickly without the need for him to say anything. He was so afraid he couldn't look back to see who or what it was. It only remained on the horse a few seconds when it released its grip on my dad and came off the horse. The horse ran the rest of the way home, and my dad ran into the house telling his family about the experience he had had. He was met with teasing and joking about his vivid imagination, and his siblings called him a coward. They believed he had been snagged by the thorns of a wild rose and made him believe something had grabbed him, but he said he would know the difference. My dad is no longer with us. I miss him immensely and his stories that he would tell. He always swore to me that the story was true, and something had ridden the horse with him for a short distance. He thought it had dropped out of a tree he was passing under, and still believed it was the Little Fuzzy Man trying to catch a ride with him one night.